fire the living shit out of the Indiana Fever. So Indiana Fever, and it's been my belief that they will freaking fire everyone. And I do believe this. So if you're a Fever fan and you're hoping they'll keep Caitlin Clark, it's my belief that when push comes to shove, there's no way they can let her get away. They will fire everybody and start over. That's my belief. I cannot imagine the level of fumbling the bag that would have to be done.
What do you get when Gatorade dives headfirst into the Caitlin Clark craze but forgets why people care in the first place? A corporate mess with a side of sports marketing disaster. The WNBA thought they were pulling off the perfect brand play. Instead, it turned into a messy explosion. And fans, they're not staying quiet about it. Somebody in Indiana's front office better start paying attention. Meanwhile, Caitlin walked away with $660,000 like she just found it in her couch cushions. Buckle up, this storm's just getting started.
Caitlin Clark meant to the WNBA?
Everything. She's changed the dynamic and history forever for women.
I see a lot of young girls here today, and I see how inspired they are, and she's even gotten me back into basketball.
I think she has brought attention. She did it for us. We had never watched, and we have become big fans.
I don't think her contributions have been extreme as what people think they are. I think the league in itself has been getting better, and that's really what we should be focusing on.
I think she's brought a lot of attention to the WNBA, and it's needed.
I think it's great. I actually grew up watching the WNBA, so it's really exciting to see a resurgence.
She meant everything. I never watched it before.
If Caitlin Clark decides to leave Indiana, don't expect the fans to stick around. And that's not just speculation. It's becoming a full-on movement. She's not just another athlete in the WNBA. She is the WNBA for a massive wave of new supporters who had no clue Indiana even had a team 6 months ago. At this point, the Fever might want to hire a custody attorney, because if Caitlin exits, she's taking a large chunk of the fan base with her.
And there's enough votes here. This is a good test to see how bad this would be. Swag put this out, and it's starting to make the rounds. I voted. Okay, Fever fans, answer this. If Caitlin leaves Fever, would you still support the Fever? We got 1,145 votes here. Nope, my bags are packed is far and away leading.
These aren't just casual followers. They're fully committed, completely invested, and all in on the Caitlin Clark era. They're not loyal to zip codes or jersey colors. To them, Caitlin isn't merely a player. She's the whole brand. Her uniform isn't just gear, it's a North Star. Where she goes, the fan base goes. Their dedication isn't to Indiana, it's to her. No disrespect to the rest of the team, they're appreciated, but they're not the reason thousands are tuning in.
For letting her cook. Me dinner.
I'm buying Powerade stock.
Is it a play on like women shouldn't? No, they didn't do it on purpose. There's no way. How you came up with this and not in the back of your minds like, oh, they're just gonna be like, oh, it's women. She just needs to cook. Didn't think about that in the PR room. Look, I'm a big advocate of.
But when the hype fades and fans are forced to pick sides between a struggling organization and the superstar who gave them a reason to care in the first place, it's no competition. It's Caitlin or bust. Right now, the anxiety is rising, not because Caitlin's underperforming. She's doing exactly what she came to do: boost TV numbers, fill seats, inject energy into a franchise that looked like it belonged in a rec league last year. The problem? It seems like the one person not fully on board might be her coach.
Listen, NBA players make 50% of revenues. WNBA players make 9%. And now the merch sales are up 500% and attendance is up, 40%. So they're going to get a raise. There's no question. And I don't really care that the previous 25 years they didn't make a lot of money or lost money. I don't care. They're in the middle of a negotiation and they're on a heater. So it doesn't really matter. I've said this before. I made an investment for 5 years and it lost money. And I got about 6 months left in the investment. And in the last 6 months, they started making cash. I'm not bailing on the investment. I want to finally get my money back. So they're going to get a raise. They're finally turning a corner. But and negotiating in any business is all about current momentum. It's not about 12 years ago, it's about current momentum.
Somehow the whole game plan feels less like build around your phenom and more like let's try her next half. And that's insane, because spoiler alert, they're not winning, they're getting thrashed. It's not even close. Yet after each loss, we hear the same recycled story. One player goes 2 for 14, couldn't hit a layup with GPS assistance. And the coach says, keep trying, sweetheart, they'll start falling eventually. Meanwhile, Caitlyn takes one risky shot late in the game. Bam! Instant criticism. That's not just mixed messaging, it's a joke. Fans see the bias. They know what's going on, and they're not here to silently watch as the centerpiece of the team gets diminished. They've made themselves clear over and over again, like a 3 a.m. WNBA rerun. If Caitlyn's gone, so are they.
Caitlyn Clark is a media driver. She is a ratings driver. I think about the NBA post Magic and Larry, the NBA post Michael Jordan, tennis post Serena Williams, golf post Tiger Woods, right? There are certain athletes that drive the sport more than others. And that's not to take away from anyone else drafted tonight. That's not to take away from the other incredible superstars in the WNBA.
This has gone way beyond typical sports loyalty. It's a full-on revolution, and Caitlyn Clark is the heart of it. These supporters aren't wearing Fever gear because they're die-hard Indiana fans. They're wearing it because of her. This is dedication without borders. They don't care if she plays in Brooklyn, Vegas, or even on a court floating in the Arctic Ocean. If Caitlyn's playing, so are their eyes. Change the franchise name, move it across the country, throw a ridiculous mascot on the court. If she's still there, they're all in. This isn't temporary, it's transformational. And if Indiana's front office isn't tuned in, they should be alarmed. These people aren't being overdramatic, they're being real. Caitlyn Clark is why many even started watching women's pro hoops in the first place. It wasn't clever commercials or social media tricks. It was one woman from Iowa with insane shooting range, pinpoint passing, and charisma that lights up every post-game mic. She made the league must-see TV. Now imagine choosing to sideline that. That's not a coaching blunder, that's a disaster. Like stumbling upon a gold mine and paving it over for a strip mall. Sure, the fans respect the rest of the players, but let's not pretend without Caitlyn, none of this would be happening. And without her, the support, gone.
T-shirts don't bother me, but why do you take a shot at the Golden Goose, Caitlyn Clark? You guys were flying before she arrived on one of those airlines that made you pay for a cup of water. One of those airlines that is the planes are the color of a highlighter. Now you're flying private. Okay, if you're in a band and you're staying at the Motel 6 and you add a band member and now you're at the Ritz-Carlton, keep your issues to yourself.
Here's the troubling part. It's beginning to feel intentional, as if there's an internal rulebook that reads, keep the rookie quiet, don't let her outshine the vets, even if they're throwing up bricks all game. Meanwhile, the fans are practically chanting, let Caitlyn be great. But every time she gets going, someone seems to yank the plug. Add to that the weird on-court energy, stiff interviews, and some truly confusing end-of-game decisions, and suddenly the fans who were once loyal are now angry. This feels like a bait and switch. You can't plaster her face on billboards, line her up with endorsements from energy drinks to backyard tools, promote her as the face of everything, and then treat her like a distraction on the court. That's not careful planning, that's disguised sabotage. And if she decides to leave, the WNBA won't just feel it, they'll suffer for it. We're talking mass departure. 1 week, it's sellout crowds and record-breaking numbers. The next, you're looking at half-full gyms while cable TV replaces your games with obstacle course reruns.
I'm going to pass on that question, actually. WNBA star Caitlyn Clark is transforming women's sports. She fills arenas night after night, and her games have smashed TV viewership records. And if you watch Clark play, well, it's not hard to figure out why. She makes deep three-pointers look easy. And like all stars, wants the ball when the game is on the line.
Let's be real, this isn't a bluff. These fans are serious. They're already scoping out options beyond Indiana. Some are looking up homes in Phoenix, others are brushing up on Las Vegas neighborhoods. Group chats are blowing up, spreadsheets are making the rounds.